But if you're impatient, lazy, or both like myself, you'll also have the option to purchase rec packs using real-world currency. Holmes announced that the option to purchase silver and gold packs is on the table for a price of $1.99 for a silver pack and $2.99 for a gold pack. Now before some of you might go all crazy and scream your heads off, this really isn't a bad thing. Not only are $2 and $3 relatively cheap prices compared to other games with microtransactions, but as I just mentioned, you can earn all these packs just by playing the games, even the gold packs. Additionally, if you didn't pre-order the limited edition or the limited collector's edition of Halo 5, the Warzone Rec Bundle, which came as a bonus with those two editions, is also available for a separate one-time purchase of $25. The bundle includes 2 premium rec packs per week for 7 weeks, with higher levels of rarity and more permanent recs. So the follower team and I are curious, do any of you guys plan to actually purchase any rec packs?
We've seen a lot of comments regarding us being potentially biased, but we want to put that to ease right now and really look into the essence of the problems with Halo 5 Guardians. So here's the facts. What are they? Halo 5 has the lowest sales in the main series of Halo. 343 may have been trying far too hard to accommodate new players to the game. Now, don't get me wrong, new players, new interests, changes in the Halo community or to the Halo games is a fantastic, and I personally believe, a required thing. However, the big problem here is that a lot of these changes have driven away a large amount of the older players who made up the majority of the community. This is not an attack on Microsoft, 343, not new players, nobody, but it is simply what we're trying to convey the facts. By attempting to draw new players in, the essence of Halo established by its longtime fan base has been dragged away, and the longtime fans simply are not interested in a game that they don't feel connected to anymore.
Before some of you might go all crazy and scream your heads off, this really isn't a bad thing.
The original Don't Pre-Order Halo 5 video was born, and it was fueled by rage, and frankly, had I known these problems would have persisted for another 3 months after that, I would have been even angrier in that video. And I was mean, and I tore into not only 343, but Halo community members who did not hate 343, and I hit below the belt as often and as hard as I could, and ultimately, though I will never empathize with those who would defend 343 in regards to the MCC launch, I realized that we must lay down our arms and set aside our animosity if we are to come together in a glorious effort to save Halo. And I say no more. Save MCC first. If you pre-order Halo 5, it's because you hate Halo and want it to die. And as time goes on, I will be doing my best to cover their future business practices and marketing tactics and see how they handle the whole thing. My basic impression right now, if I'm perfectly honest with you, is that I think because Halo, their goal with Halo is really to sell Xboxes, they're willing to turn less of a profit on Halo itself if that makes the game more appealing and ultimately sells more Xboxes. And I say no more. Save MCC first. If you pre-order Halo 5, it's because you hate Halo and want it to die.
Because it just it hurt my Halo fanboy, my inner Halo fanboy every time that the Master Chief Collection would crash, and I couldn't take any more of it. So I avoided it, and Halo 5 rejuvenated my love of Halo custom games. Halo 5, all we're missing now is literally Forge, and I mean that's that's a pretty big thing to say that we're missing. I felt more and more pessimistic. I tried putting on fake smiles for you guys, but you can even see my previous content has been very negative. For the story, I ripe on the story a lot. Brian Reed, as a writer, I don't think character-driven stories are his strong suit. Halo Escalation showed symptoms of Brian Reed's poor writing, and Halo 5 is almost like the full-out diagnosis. Brian Reed, you cannot write character-driven stories. Please leave the head writer position and allow someone more competent to take your place. And Brian Reed's not a bad writer. He's not a bad writer. He has interesting ideas. I think that he handles Elite and Sangheili stories pretty interestingly. Halo 5, I can't say it's a bad game because it clearly has a soul, and you know what? It's still a great game. It's still a fantastic game. Like, Brian Reed's story has a soul to it. The problem is he just can't execute it. He's not competent enough as a writer. He focuses too much on spectacle and, like, flashy lights, and he writes, sadly, very two-dimensional stories. Like, for Brian Reed, a good place for him as a writer, I feel, is an ideas guy where he spitballs ideas, and then you take someone like Chris, whatever his name was, from Halo 4's, and then he writes the story. He takes Brian Reed's ideas and he writes an interesting character-driven story around that. So we've got to be vocal about what didn't work and what did work. That way they can improve on the strengths and just cut off the weaknesses. Like Brian Reed.
So, longevity. Halo 4, as we both know, it died out pretty quick. And, I always hate using the word dead or died or dying. Because, there's still people playing Halo 4. I still enjoy Halo 4 from time to time. There's still people who, maybe started their Halo career with Halo 4 and they really like the game and they, that is their main multiplayer game. So it's still a game that is played by people, obviously. Couple thing. I'm all about having a ton of things to unlock, a ton of things to collect. And in Halo 4, I reached rank 130 so quick. Like, I'm pretty sure it was in a matter of days. And a lot of people did it just, it didn't help that the double XP stuff. I just, had a ton of Mountain Dew. I probably have diabetes now. But it was worth it for the double XP. But the downside of that was that, of course, I reached rank 130, which was a joke. I was talking to some 343 guys, had like a little meeting thing, and people don't think I do this, but I was really concerned. I was really, really concerned when I first heard the basics of rep packs. I'm like, this is not a good idea, guys. You can't do random, pay transactions and stuff. Like, that's not a Halo thing. But then every question I asked, they had the exact responses I wanted to hear. They had all the balancing figured out. And this is at a very, very early stage. It hasn't even changed that much from when I first talked to them about it. And it just sold me. Every question I asked, every answer they provided, it sounded perfect to me. I really liked the idea. I'm just getting more and more and more sold. And as the game approaches, I'm very, very excited for that. So I will be making rec pack videos, and I expect to see a fair amount of that. And I know there's some people who try to mislead you into thinking that it's somehow the worst thing to ever come out of the gaming community, which is one of the most absurd things ever. I actually got quite a few tweets saying, don't do this. It's lazy. You're better than that. But it's not. It's not lazy. All content I make, there's a lot of money has gone into my setup, has gone into the software I use. There's a lot of time that goes into my stuff. It's not going to be pressing A a few times and looking at it and releasing it. No, I'm going to be discussing it. I'm going to be comparing it to Rippon's unlocks. He might be doing some of the same stuff too. We'll be talking about probabilities and seeing what kind of stuff we can unlock and talking about our hopes and comparing it to you guys and what you guys have unlocked and creating that discussion.
And I've seen, many of these negative comments are like, oh, this game looks like Call of Duty, it's a Call of Duty clone, blah 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 blah. Oh, I wish they would go back to the original roots of Halo, blah 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 blah, and all that shit. Well, which I will admit, I was one of those people that liked Halo, the way it was, and I still do. I still like Halo the way it was. Rainbow Six Siege is fucking awful. It is the worst Rainbow Six game I have ever played in my life. Nothing about this game is tactical whatsoever. It's basically Call of Duty. That's what it is, man. This game is so dumbed down, hold your hand, kiddie, child's play type of crap. And let me explain why that is, right? This game is not tactical because you have hit markers, right? Now in tactical shooters, you do not have hit markers. The only way you had to find out if your opponent was dead, if you would hear them screaming in pain, that would be them dying, okay? That's how you'd know your opponent is dead. are like, oh, this game looks like Call of Duty, it's a Call of Duty clone, blah 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 blah. Oh, I wish they would go back to the original roots of Halo, blah 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 blah, and all that shit. Halo 5. He makes hate videos about Halo 5, and he bashes the people who fucking like Halo 5, who are going to get Halo 5. And basically, if he doesn't agree with your opinion, he'll make a hate video on you. And that's what he's done to me. He's made a hate video about me over my opinion. And basically, in the hate video was him watching one of my videos that I did like a month ago. And the video that he was watching was the one where I explained that people just have to ignore the free for free haters. And in that video, I simply stated in my opinion that the Master Chief Collection is fixed. You completely disagree with that, and he made a hate video about me. And basically, in my opinion, it is fixed. It is fixed, in my opinion, the Halo Master Chief Collection. I'm able to connect to matches. I'm able to play the games, no problem, without any lag. I'm able to connect to custom games, no problem. I'm able to play with friends, no problem. I'm able to play the campaigns, no problem. So in my opinion, the Master Chief Collection is fucking fixed. As for the haters out there, you guys should be lucky that you've actually got a game development company that actually listens and cares about their fans. Yes, Free for Free Industries released the Halo Master Chief Collection broken, but they got it fixed within a couple of months. They got it fixed. You name any game development company out there that actually listens to their fans, because if this was EA and Activision, they would have left the Halo Master Chief Collection in a broken state. Alright lads, so in the number one spot, you guys can probably already guess what game this is going to be. It's Halo 5 Guardians, and the reason why I'm giving this game the number one spot is because Halo 5 Guardians is my favourite game to play, man. I do enjoy its multiplayer. Yes, the game does get boring. I mean, it's not hard to see that the game does need some more content to keep people playing, but I do hop on, and have a few games and play custom games with other YouTubers and that, and I do enjoy myself, man. And I really think that Halo 5 Guardians has some of the best multiplayer in the Halo series, in my opinion. I mean, I love the Spartan Charge, the ground pound, the thrusting. I love what you can do with your Spartan, man. And I love the maps as well. I think the maps are pretty cool. I think they're pretty well designed, in my opinion. And I'm also eager to see how the game does, within the Halo Championships. But that's my top 5 games of 2015, man. If you guys agree with my list or disagree, please comment in the section below.
Hello!
Wait.
Ooh, yummy.
I'm Fanboy.